Hello, and welcome to another Dokkan Battle video. So we got the easy for this bomb. They didn't change him whatsoever. He's still bad, practically unrunnable in 90% of the content that exists right now, and all of the content that has come out during the celebration that he was introduced in. Yay! Right? We're having a great time. He is weak to GOKU family. I do think that your best bet for a leader skill is probably Physical God Goku. If you don't have him, I definitely suggest running the GT Super Saiyan Goku. I feel like that'll just work the best for what we're trying to accomplish here, which is getting this done as fast as possible. Because who really wants to sit here for like 30 minutes grinding out a character that is kind of terrible? Right? Like, we don't want to do that. He does have his EZA refund up as well, where if you didn't know, with how they're doing the missions to get the sub EZAs, there's also missions that'll give you your Zenny back once you finish EZAing them, which is actually very, very helpful. So whenever you finish EZAing these characters, they'll just give you a bunch of Zenny that is going to replace all the Zenny that you spent actually getting him. So it's really not that bad of a system now. I do like that they're not just making us spend copious amounts of Zenny for no reason, and then just saying, you know, bye-bye, loser, right? They actually give us some Zenny back. That way we don't have to feel like we're constantly low on that. Like, especially if you're like a new account, getting Zenny can be kind of difficult because you're going to obviously want to have these characters awakened and EZA'd and stuff, and that's just really, really expensive if you don't have years of Zenny built up like I do, right? Like, I have past even the amount that the game can really show on the screen, right? I don't have like 99999 or nothing, but like looking it up there, that's a ridiculous amount. So it is nice that they're giving free-to-play players the ability to get their money back after spending all of it on these characters. Now, Int Goku Black, right? Okay, so there's many reasons why he's bad and why all of us in the community have said he's bad. If you don't get why he's bad already, let me just spell it out for you. This man does practically nothing. And when I say practically nothing, I mean it very literally, because he is a stacking character who is limited on when and how he can stack with very low base stats and a 50% chance to crit, and that's it. That's all he is. He has a little bit of support once he transforms, which is nice, but besides that, again, his stats are just really low. Like his start of turn stats are like barely 150%. Whereas a character like Tech Trunks, who also EZA'd in the celebration, has like 250%. Like, you see the difference there? Which, like, sucks, because his animations are really, really good, especially for when they came out years ago. So, we're in the situation where it just feels bad when this happens to him. So, we really wanted this guy to be good, and it's kind of unfortunate that he's not. If we get content that is focused around fighting super class characters, this guy would be really, really solid. It's just one of those things that they've been doing recently where they give us like super class restrictions or super class buffs. Things like Turles' intro, which needs to be fighting a Goku. You got the fused Zamasu domain, which is specifically debuffing super units. This guy's additional supers in base form. Like, there's all these things that would be really good abilities if we had somewhere to actually use them. And as of right now, it seems that they have no intention of actually doing that. So it gets kind of watered down in terms of how effective these characters can actually be, and in turn, ages them out very quickly. Again, if in the future we get some content that revolves around it, they'll cook a lot harder, but it's just really unfortunate when this is happening so consistently this year to specifically the extreme class characters. Like, when they do these EZAs for super class characters, it doesn't really matter because we know we're at least going to get another one or two of them within the next few years. With villains, right? The last Zamasu we got was LR Zamasu. Then he got replaced by the current one because they have the same name. But before that, the only other Zamasu in the game that was a premium character didn't drop since Golden Week of like 2019. You know how terrible that is? That's just ridiculous. So, and then Goku Black, his last premium character was the LR during the 5th year anniversary. Now, we do know that he is going to be EZA at some point during the celebration. My guess is next week, so do keep that in mind. It's just, these characters don't drop frequently enough for us to like have them consistently shafted like this. It doesn't happen. So when this is happening so often to these characters that people really, really love, for instance, you can clearly see my layout right now, right? It feels bad for the community. This year has had a lot of ups and downs. I do think for the most part, the celebration has been really good. We've had a few strong EZAs. The free-to-play characters are kind of iffy. The summonable characters are all very strong. I know people are gonna sit out here and be like, oh, Trunks sucks, Vegito Blue sucks, but they don't. They're significantly better than people are making out to be. They're just not #1 in the game, which is what people really wanted, right? But like, in terms of like missions and stones and content, there's actually really a lot of stuff to do. One gripe I do have is the fact that all of the red zone stages are practically the same, except for the androids one. That's like the only one that's even remotely different because they have one different mechanic, right? The other 4 are practically the same thing, or it's a short fight that hits really, really hard, right? And that is a gripe that I've seen a lot of people have, and I get it. It makes sense. Though I do really, really like the Divine Wrath and Mortal Will fights. I think those are actually pretty interesting. Though I think the 2 new ones are practically just carbon copies of the a couple red zone stages, being the First Form Cell fight, I believe, and the most recent one, except without an AoE. I did see that though. The most recent red zone fight does have an AoE, so I am keeping that in mind when I do take that on. I haven't done it yet. I probably will. In due time here, just get it done. But yeah, it's one of these things that definitely does leave a sour taste in people's mouths, where we have these consistent fumbles. Now, if LR Rose is an absolute monster, I'll be happy with that. Like, okay, my dream for him is, I know we have a lot of AoE fights right now. We just got another one in the new Fusion Zamasu stage, so preferably he would have more than enough startup turn stats, maybe give him guard, maybe give him a little damage reduction. I think what would be really interesting is if they gave him like 2% damage reduction per orb collected. I think that would be cool, right? That way it's like, you can definitely get to a decent amount, especially if you're running like an orb changer of some kind. And then give him the ability to change his own orbs, right? I feel like that'd be really interesting because he'd be dishing out all this damage and have a maximum, I believe, well, we can get like 26, 24 orbs on the field, so we can get maximum like 50%-ish damage reduction. That would be really interesting for him. Like, and then on average, you would get like roughly 40%, because if you're getting like 20 orbs, right, the 20 orbs is 40%, then you can maybe tweak the numbers a little bit, but like, I think you can definitely make it work for him, where he is able to dish out big damage numbers, but is also not going to get killed before he attacks, kind of thing. I think that would make a lot of sense and would work really, really well. If you remember back when he initially dropped during the 5th year anniversary, which again was the last Goku Black character released, he was in contention for #1 in the game just because of how hard he was hitting. He can currently, right now, drop 10 million attack stats. He hits incredibly hard. It's just that his defense is very low. So if they make it so that his attack stats go, oh, maybe like 10 million. Like, if he does 20 million attack stats, who cares? Who cares, right? You can still do 10 million attack stats, make it easier for him to do them, and then give him some defense. That way it's a little better on everybody's side. You know what I mean? So that's it for the Goku Black EZA. Again, he is a whatever character. Let me turn off the sound, that way you can actually see me awakening him, because I don't want to get copyright music, right? So, like, it's just unfortunate that Goku Black has been put in this position where we didn't get a new summonable one, which everybody really wanted, and then the EZA that we did get, that we've already seen, has been underwhelming. It's definitely sad. I'm with everybody when I say that I don't really like that they did that. So we'll see what happens with LR Rose, but for now we have Int Rose. I'm gonna give him a sticker just because I feel like he kind of deserves it for being my channel layout for almost a year, and also my channel banner. So again, I wish we got something better for him. It just didn't happen. Anyway, let me know how you feel about this Kai in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys all in the next video.